Alrighty, I believe we are live. I'm getting confirmation over there from YouTube, so should be looking good. After a long weekend up here in the Great White North, was Thanksgiving this weekend. I still was around. I didn't place any trades on Monday. I was up and at 'em and was looking for some opportunity, but just didn't really see a whole lot. Did a little bit on the the mining and minerals and metals names yesterday, and today bought a couple breakouts that ultimately failed. Yesterday shorted a few first red days that chopped me out. So a frustrating start to the week, but it is what it is, and I felt like doing a live. So I see a few of my DAS charts are messed up again, so I will do my best with what I got. Caramel multi-day runner hadn't gone red in a bunch of days, and we get a big gap up day looking like a blow off, volume really picking up. You get that 15-minute bar that I like to see right off the open that typically leads to some bag holders and some selling pressure. The off the open, it was straight down. There's the opening bar, and then it pulls from 30 down to 25. So there's no move that I can chase, but I started short. Let it bounce, never failed, bounce, never failed, bounced, pushed up into those open levels but couldn't break high a day. And then we start getting lower highs, so I start shorting here in the 28s. I add right here under 28s, and I add once more under 28s. It's looking good, looking like it exhausted through VWAP and then failing. And then towards the end of the day, completely ramps and stops me out. And then coming into today, it gaps down 10%, 15% plus, and does the exact action that I was looking for, where we pull, pops, fail off VWAP, pops, fail off VWAP, completely unwinds. But I was frustrated on that one. There was GWH. I had shorted that one off the open as a sympathy to the rest of the sector, just because this one gave me 2 minutes to hit an entry, and I had this $10 breakdown level that I had noted from that watch list. So I had shorted this one, and I shorted at 10, covered at 8, tried to dip by it a couple times down here, and gave a little bit back. And then Amy was the same kind of story, where it pulled back, got absolutely smoked from 20 down to 15. So I start shorting pops, VWAP's failing, red to green is failing, and then I add here on the failed fall through 1670s and move stop to 1750s, stops me out, pushes up quite a bit higher than expected, and then again gets hit with a gap down. I don't touch it today, and gets wild unwind. So was fairly frustrating yesterday, where the moves off the open was the meat of the move. And it goes red, doesn't stay red, and then today is a second red day, and then that one's the easy one. Just not typical price action that I'm used to. So it is what it is, but I didn't want to touch them again today after the chop yesterday. I know in the past I've had trouble on these quantum names, so I thought maybe maybe this sector, it looked really clean on the front side. So typically that first time going red, it should stay red. So I felt like it was clean on the front side, should be clean on the back side, but it just wasn't. So enough on that one. SLNH was fun. I bottom ticked that stop, which was just great. Was a big picture breakout through the 350s. It gapped up quite a bit. I saw the strong move yesterday, was up a bit in after hours, and unfortunately was gapping up again this morning right near the breakout level, but it did open under it. So when it's not opening over it, then I'm okay playing it. Let it push, fail, break low a day, reclaim. Now it's over the breakout level, so I long, risk on low a day, 330s, and get bottom tick stopped under this big support break. Did go a little bit lower. If you look at like this kind of action, it does not look by any means like it's gonna go, whoa. It does not look like it's gonna go higher at all. Like if you're looking at this, it looks like the breakout failed and see you later. And it goes on an absolute tear, and I'm over here cursing myself in after hours because now the daily chart does look pretty good and I am no longer involved. ACHR, another one. Bought the breakout, was one I've been watching for a while. Multi-month break through 14s. Bought the break, risking lows, holds, pushes to highs, and then completely gets smoked. AQMS, I had a short on it today. Nothing really of size because the market hadn't even opened yet, but ran from 5 to 40 in 2 days. Here in pre-market, I get a straight up move from 21 to 30. So I short into red to green, but was risking towards prior day's highs because I have no other risk level to use. And it just V-shapes straight back to where it came from. So very small winner there. D-fly, same thing. Gapping up. Doesn't gap over the breakout level, so I wait. Sets its high right at the breakout level, fails, reclaims, long versus low a day, and then get bottom tick stopped under low a day. So it was just one of those days, man. One of those days. Open, I'm short using this. This is a stop. 790s 8 area was that prior support, now becoming resistance. And I think if this loses 7, I think it goes to 5s and 6s pretty quick. So I'm going to swing that one. Big gap down, but curious if you played AQMS. There you go. There's the answer. Just touched on that one. It was gapping down too much by open. That's why I covered right before open, because a lot of times these big gap downs, they rip, but it never saw higher. High a day was the opening print. NUAI, just thoughts on either. NUAI I missed. It was I'm not usually on desk into the afternoon, so I saw NUAI early, but I was off desk by the time it was breaking out. And the last time it steady grind through the breakout level, it failed the next day. So I was not looking to get involved here because it looked like it was push and then pull. So it looked like it was going to push and then pull. So I did not play any into this straight up move because there's no real pattern. It didn't break out yet until it was over the 3s. And then into close, it was doing the same thing. It had a couple hard cracks towards the close that held. And what I did the last breakout was I just bought it at the close and risked one of these prior dips. I can go back and find it because it did the exact same thing. You can see here, did the exact same thing. Had a couple hard cracks, so I just bought it some point here and closed right at an after hours or something, and was risking towards like this 240-ish. And then the next day, it just barely gapped and then faded. So I assumed that this was barely going to gap and I would have an entry opportunity on it. But turns out that 3s was had $1 a share upside. So would have been risking 30 cents to make $1 if you sell it perfectly. So not the greatest trade risk reward wise. So I did not take that one. I missed it. Lockdocs not trading much. Still looking at stuff. Good. Yeah, I saw DVLT bounce back. Nothing really there. NUAI didn't really extend, so nothing there. D-Fly gapped up fairly big, but that failed damn hard. Got smoked. Probably no reason to watch that. Archer, no reason to watch that. That one failed. SLNH is still a breakout, and I'm not in it, which pisses me off. Extremely frustrating. UAMI is getting into territory of possible backside bounce at this point. We've had a straight up move. Now we've had 1.5 red days. Ideally, it puts in another red day. Would be really nice. GWH looks like it's in the same boat. I don't see a ton of looking left levels. Does have this little support spot, but like the volume profile is down here in the 4s. I would much rather this fade to the 4s and then bounce it into 7 than try and bounce it off the 5s and get like 8s. I just think 8s is tough. But I don't think a pop back to 7s would be out of the question. So if I can get a decent risk reward down to the 4s, that'd be nice. ABAT had some bad news in after hours. That thing got smoked. This was another one that I traded yesterday because I nailed the frickin' bottom. These things were all panicking. So I dip bought a couple of them. I tried dip buying GWH. I dip bought ABAT right here. I bought it at like 860 something. I nailed the frickin' bottom. And I flipped it right here into the 9s. And then I tried shorting up here into the VWAP. And then stopped out right here. And it went on an absolute tear. So I felt like that trap shorts. That was a pull. It pulled into prior support. Why would I think it's going to go from 12 to 5? Freaking ridiculous, man. I don't know. I don't think these were the easiest of trades, in my opinion. But it had some bad news there in after hours. Not sure I really want to be dip buying it. It's coming into these key levels, like right off those 5s. Caramel, same kind of thing. Same basket as UAMI. UAMI pulling into like, you know, lower. I don't think it can get back to that breakout level. But if I could get a bit lower, that'd be nice. Same thing with Caramel. AQMS, multi-day runner, but only one red day. Maybe another red day into the 8s. And then get a backside bounce out of it. Open, we went over. Coot is technically a multi-day runner because it started running right before the after hours close. ELBM, I feel like, is at like a later stage in the pattern. It's now gap filled and it's had 2 red days. I think this one could have a bounce up in it. It's been straight down off of the open each day, sets its high on the opening minute, fade, sets its high, fades. And I think this could get back up to $4. So I'd be interested in this one on a backside bounce. GMPX, percent gainer. NVTS, percent gainer. This one is, like, it's not there yet just because of this breakout here at 9. I need this to get to at least 18 for me to want it for a short, but it's getting there. HIMS, this is a daily chart is messed up. You can see it on like an intra-daily maybe. You didn't need to listen to all that clicking, but you kind of get the point. It's pushed, and then we got some tightening action. I believe the had some moving averages right under it, chopped in this range for quite a few weeks, and then we finally broke out of that basically 60. It was a bit straight up through 60. I wasn't watching it into close, but I like flushes versus days low. I think that daily chart has some merit to it. Do I like Buru for a first green day? No, not at all. That's on the backside now. Push, breakout, multi-day run, first red day. The first green day happens in here for me. pulls back, it would have to do this. Like these 2 days would have to disappear. And these ones would have to take its place, or it would first red day, pull back for a day or two, and then that snap back. But I think it's just got too many people trying to dip by it through here that now there's just too many bag holders for it to bounce. It's not really interested there. Lock Dock was trading D-Fly. So as far as watches tomorrow, I think ELBM is worth a watch for a backside bounce. I think HIMS is worth a watch for a week open. Again, this daily chart is messed up, but you can pull up your own daily chart. They fix this by the open each time, but I don't know what's going on with some of them. But week opens versus prior day's lows, I like there. Open, possible ads, sub 7. We'll keep that one on watch. AQMS needs another red day. Caramel and Amy, if they gap down big enough, I might try and backside bounce those. GWH, I think, has faded enough to have some merit for a bounce. But like I say, ideally, I would like it into the 4s so that I could bounce it into 7. Would be more my speed. SLNH, I'll just keep watching this one and cry about it. So, yeah, I think the next step in my, no problem, drummer, Max. Yeah, but I think the next setup in terms of like my framework would be bouncing the backside on these. Hopefully it's cleaner than obviously the front side, and breakouts were super clean, just gap to gap. But the backside was a bit harder to nail in my opinion. So hopefully the bounce, the long is easier than the short. The long was easier, the short was difficult. So hopefully the long again is a bit easier and more simple. So we'll see. But that's about what I've got for a watch. If no questions come in the next 15 or 20 seconds, I will just wrap it up there. And again, if you guys do not follow me on Twitter already, feel free to check down in the description for my Twitter link. The days that I don't make it back to do these lives, I've been posting my watch list via Investors Underground and posting a free link on my Twitter. So if you don't see me go live, then check my Twitter, and I have a written scan with charts and visuals and stuff on there as well. Really appreciate these videos. Helps more than you know. Half the trades and double the profit. That's sick. I love that. Great to hear. Congrats. Did you see EVAX? No. No. Doesn't trade much volume. No real interest there. It popped on like nothing. Did no range on 70 million and then starts trending on 2 million a day. Not of interest. How do you feel about the ITB home builders? I know a bunch of the guys in my area are saying they're slow in terms of home builders. I haven't slowed down in the slightest, but I know a lot of the new build guys have been super slow. Big picture wise, I don't really have a huge opinion on it. Right now we're below moving averages. If that loses 100, then you're below the 50 and you're below the 200 is at $100 right here. So if it loses the 200, maybe it starts to pull back some. But yeah, no real opinion on it. I don't really watch this too much. Alrighty guys, thanks for the questions, thanks for the chat. I hope I provided a little bit of value to your watch list this evening, and I will see you guys in Investors Underground. Peace.